right across the park, both sides of the ball, explosive carries and big hits all around the park. Now Cooney looks to fire this Ulster backline for the first time this evening. Over the top it goes from Billy Burns and picked up by Timoney. He's got so much explosive pace and power, and Timoney's going for the line, and he gets there all the way in the wet conditions. What a break by the Ulster back row forward. Brilliant invention from the number 10, Billy Burns, the dink over the top, and we know all about Timoney and that pace he brings from his sevens career. What a start this is for Ulster. Up go the flags. John Cooney is metronomic from that kind of distance. Ulster have defended well, and that's swirling around. Lots of hang time on it. Great contest in the air. Fair contest too between Liam Turner and Will Addison, and the Ulster fullback did really well. Kitshoff, ball is loose and it's there for Cooney. Ulster have to scramble. It wasn't the perfect set, but they break from deep again. Brilliant invention from Ulster again. Now McCloskey, he's going to require support, gets his hands free. He was looking for the offload, but all of a sudden Ulster have made 50 metres downfield. Cries of turnover penalty from the Leinster supporters over on that far side, but Leinster survive, and now Burns goes to the kicking game. Acres of space out on this side for Ulster, surely now in the shape of Stockdale, who canters into the line. What an explosive, unbelievable start to this game from Ulster. 2 tries in the space of 7.5 minutes, and again it's the short, varied kicking game of Billy Burns that pays dividends. Really composed start, taking their 2 tries brilliantly. Of Stockdale has been in really good form of late. Six Nations, of course, only around the corner.
First man on the
Leinster
ball
penalty
and on
here
his
as they just look to get an access point into the game.
Yeah, and we spoke, pre-match about Ulster where they had big moments in games. It's a question of backing up those big moments. 12 points ahead. That's a cheap penalty to give away just immediately off the restart. You see Nick Timoney is just isolated there. Support Will Connors. What a brilliant turnover from him. Leinster, they just allowed Timoney go another yard. That separates him from his support, and Connors on his feet. Just getting that turnover.
Put it over.
Good take at line out, Simon. It's a case of where's the ball, and it's tucked under the right arm of Dan Sheehan. That's a brilliant try-saving tackle from John Cooney, of all people, a metre from his own try line. Sheehan looked poised to score, and Leinster might still get there, powering their way towards that Ulster try line. All the big, heavy ball carriers in close attendance. Jenkins, McCarthy, Healy, they're all there. Ball at the base. Ryan Baird has a go again. Ulster just trying to sandbag that line. Relentless attack from Leinster, and we've seen them so many times just fold around the corner, one out rugby, short passes, find that soft shoulder, win the battle of the inches. They get their way to the try line. Can Ulster hold out? You feel not. There is the Leinster try. They power their way over. It seemed almost inevitable, and the last man to get up from the floor is Healy with his 31st Leinster try.
Oh, what an incredible performer Healy has been. You mentioned 270 appearances for Leinster tonight, 36 years of age, 120 caps for Ireland, a prolific try scorer as well.
9-3 at Thomond Park and St Stephen's night, and we were poised for something maybe a little bit attritional and similar tonight, but it's anything but. It's been a brilliant start from both sides. Chase goes Frawley, and this is going to hang in the sky. It's a great chase, brilliant take. Wonderful catch from Kieran Frawley, dropping over his shoulders. That was really difficult against Will Addison. Taken on by Joe McCarthy. Penalty advantage, says Frank Murphy.
On penalty advantage, Ulster.
Gibson-Park to Doris, and now Prendergast just put the brakes on, and difficult one for Frawley to take.
Still on penalty advantage.
Still live for Leinster. Still options to the left-hand side. Jenkins gets it away. Taken on by Doris and turned over then by Sean Reffell, but back we go for the penalty.
Just inside the 22.
3 different fly halves in the last 3 games for Leinster. That's another good take at line out time, and Leinster is so dangerous, so prolific, so difficult to stop from this kind of range. It's usually Dan Sheehan, but the last touch there belongs to Will Connors. What a start to the game he's had in that number 7 shirt. 2 tries apiece.
I wonder, is it
so Brian, you want me to check the setup, is it?
Yeah, it could be the players on the ground. Just watch the 2 lifters. Have they gone ahead of Ryan Baird here? Yes, they have. That's going to be pulled back.
Clearly in behind.
Yes.
On the inside. Yes.
Joe McCarthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obstruction, no try, penalty
So this
out.
one going to be chalked
Okay.
off. Penalty to Ulster. We see so much of that,
No
particularly
try.
this season.
Obstruction.
Referees have got to be consistent.
At the moment for Ulster.
More.
Creating havoc again as he collects that perfect delivery from
One
Dan
stop,
Sheehan. So the roles reversed, and now Leinster off and running. The try line beckons for Dan Sheehan. Great tackle to stop him, just a metre shy, but for how long? Leinster go again, folding around the corner. Jemison Gibson-Park slows everything down a little bit for Cian Healy. He's got the scent of blood in his nostrils, already across the try line once this evening, and he's very, very close. Now, have they crossed the try line? Is that held up? Yeah, goal line dropout, great defence.
Advantage ruck was formed.
Almost inevitably, penalty advantage, says Frank Murphy. So now Leinster can roll the dice with Gibson-Park. Dinks one over the top, off the crossbar there for Prendergast. Lovely hands, O'Brien on the points. Brilliant try. Wonderful improvisation from Leinster off the kick that came back off the uprights. Lovely from Prendergast. And it's the arch poacher, the prolific try scorer, Rob Russell, that gets in for the try.
Yeah, and improvisation, exactly the word. Initially from Jemison Gibson-Park, I don't know how he managed to burrow his way through 3 or 4 Ulster bodies, created that momentum, and obviously with penalty advantage, Stephen Kitshoff just couldn't. You just see Gibson-Park burrowing his way through, keeps the ball alive. Kitshoff goes off his feet here. And just look at this, it could have gone anywhere. In fairness to Prendergast, he reacts well. Good pass, Tommy O'Brien. And Rob Russell acres of space that Leinster will feel will make up for the one that was chalked off a couple of minutes ago. But improvisation from both half-backs, Gibson-Park and Sam Prendergast. Big try.
Degree of difficulty is huge on this kick, but that's a lovely strike. They've got a good points ratio per red zone entry, as we saw that against Connacht. Only 5 entries into the 22, still managed to win the game, scoring a couple of tries, a couple of penalties as well. So if they could score here and turn the balance of this game 5 minutes before half-time, it would be a massive fill-up. We're so used to seeing Leinster score in what they call the championship minutes. Out the back from Clarkson, there's that kicking game again from Billy Burns, all on the points. Oh goodness me, that is absolutely class from Ulster, and Nick Timoney gets in for his second try of the game, and it's brilliant, simply brilliant from Billy Burns.
Outstanding, as you said, from Burns, just having the I won't say confidence, but you know, not easy to execute a kick like that on a night like tonight. Knew exactly what he was doing.
Particularly at this time in the game, that's massive for Ulster. It'll feel like a snatch and grab, but they thoroughly deserved it given the orchestration of the kick from Billy Burns. Can Cooney follow it again? He's trying to bring it in from the right hand side. Look at that for a kick from John Cooney. That is brilliantly judged. Will Connors, the open side flanker. Frawley now changes it up at first receiver. Good use of his playmaking abilities in that Leinster line, and Prendergast back inside to Baird again. So much impressive build-up play by Leinster now. Can they fashion extra numbers down this side? Doris dragged back in field. Clarkson again. Prendergast there on his shoulder.
No, look.
Getting closer, carry by carry, inch by inch. Ball is loose. Ball is played on the floor. Ulster penalty, won't get away with that, and that might just see Ulster to half-time with the lead.
Yeah, hugely important for Ulster that they
back in on the ground, number 6.
saw that phase out. And you know, after a brilliant start, Leinster dominating the last 30 minutes, but that try from Timoney on the stroke of half-time really putting the Ulstermen in a good position here at the break.
It indicates to the referee that Leinster are closing the gap and trying to make life even more difficult for him, but he's found his target there. And away he goes now into open country. Good scrag tackle by Josh van der Fleer to stop him in his tracks, though. Reffell now avoids a couple of big missiles. Alan Latsoa, one of those in a Leinster shirt. And on come Ulster now. There's good dynamism about these carries, getting themselves over the gain line, which at times in the first half they struggled to do. Here they are on the doorstep with that Leinster 22, and coming forward with purpose now from Tom Stewart. Cooney, short pass, just pops one away, and O'Toole. There's a huge amount of activity around the sides of these breakdowns now, collisions everywhere. Players holding, Leinster offside penalty. Billy Burns wants it, and he'll kick again. Crossfield, Mikey Lowry's underneath this one. Can he stand up a couple of Leinster defenders? Gets it back inside, shot to nothing. Careers off Cooney, and Liam Turner will be called back.
Number 4,
penalty
offside.
advantage on the far side. It's an offside against Joe McCarthy, I think.
Number
And
4,
Billy
you're
Burns
offside.
nearly did it again, didn't he? Once again, pinpoint accuracy in terms of the kick. No, he was playing with a penalty advantage. Mike Lowry, dancing feet, just gets through one tackle. A brilliant cover tackle
Number
then
4, offside.
from, I think it was Rob Russell. Yeah, big carry here.
Time
This
off.
ball could have gone anywhere.
So, having failed to get 5 or 7 from a sustained attack, the option of 3 seems like a wise one for Cooney. Particularly given the reliability of that right boot of Ulster's John Cooney. Even in these tricky conditions, he made that look very easy. It's on a night like tonight, gritty conditions. Cooney biding his time and charged down by McCarthy. Now Cooney thought he might fly kick it forward. Support on his shoulder inside from Baird. Leinster piling bodies forward. Van der Fleer gets it away to Alalatoa. 60 minutes on the watch, 22 points to 14, 8 points the margin in Henshaw. Crowd come alive, sensing something in the offing here for Leinster as Sheehan takes it into contest. Pile of numbers over on that short side, and Ulster falling foul of penalty advantage again. Kink through for Henshaw. Reffell covers back, Leinster penalty.
You allow the counter.
So Ross Maloney in for Jason Jenkins, and he will be the target of this Leinster lineup. And here comes the drive and the heave and the shove and the flurry of bodies and all the power of that Leinster pack. And there is the try line, and there is the arm and the whistle from Frank Murphy. And they bundled and barged and burrowed their way over. And Leinster are right back in the heel of the hunt here. And it's Dan Sheehan with a try.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Sheehan do that? He's had a really big game again tonight, and you know, carried well.
They don't come any more difficult than this from Harry Byrne when you're just in off the bench. Driving hard, McCloskey resolute and upright in defence, and they go on again with Jack Boyle. A look to the right, a look to the left. Options aplenty on both sides. Where's the ball? It's there for Gibson-Park, and it's there for Conan. He can't quite get there. Numbers to the right hand side. Big tackle coming in again. John Cooney. Leinster reload again, and Conan takes it on. Relentless pressure. How long can Ulster possibly hold out? Turner wants it. Instead it's over the top, and it's picked off by Marshall. Massive reprieve in the game for Ulster if they can see it out of harm's way here. Treadwell didn't have a great option. Leinster are in there. They don't get a decision from the referee. Anything now from Frank Murphy is huge in the game, but that's a big, big opportunity passed up by Leinster. And again, full credit that Ulster defence.
Well, just one loose pass seized on there. Now it's a question of can Ulster clear their lines.
You look around that backfield deep inside that Ulster 22, so many Ulster players in particular blowing pretty hard. They're not sprinting to get back around the corner and make themselves available in positions. So much energy used up in defending their try line. Cooney, surely he'll take on responsibility himself, and he does, and even just out of harm's way into touch will do, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, he was able to pick that off.
Oh, that's tight. Anybody's ball. Batted back on the Leinster side. Knocked forward by Tom Stewart. Knock on advantage. Kicked away by Rob Russell. He's put quite a distance on that. Mikey Lowry using his feet. Great tackle. Russell. Ulster replacement. Scragg 5 metres from his own line. They want a penalty. It goes the way of Ulster. Leinster player with hands on the floor. Frank Murphy not impressed, nor too the lion's share of 16,000 inside the RDS.
Yeah, the Leinster supporters have seen it differently, but Frank Murphy spotted one of the Leinster players here. Jussie Lowry gets caught under pressure again. A brilliant chase here by Russell. Has to place the ball here. Now somebody has their hands on the ball there. Is it? I think it's Jack Conan. just comes through, doesn't support his weight. The Leinster
Time's off.
has to let off. Ulster hanging on by their toenails at the moment.
Set.
Yeah, it's a fair point. There's a high premium attached to every single decision that Frank Murphy gives in the next 3 minutes. No one wants this game to be decided by a controversial call from the officials. It's a really evenly contested scrum, and there is that kick through into the backfield. Frawley has to wait a long time to try and gather it, and as a result he's barreled into touch by Jacob Stockdale. But it's all about Ulster and how they manage the next minute or so, 90 seconds. Great take at the back by Matty Ray, but Leinster get the penalty. That double banking at line-out time, consistency from Frank Murphy, and maybe, just maybe, Leinster not done yet.
Oh, how silly is that from Ulster? They had to get that absolutely right. They know the referees are looking at that. Leinster had a try chalked off in the first half for the exact same offence. One more chance. They're still in the fight. But Ulster, if they go on to lose this game, they'll rue that moment.
Just a hint of a wry smile, wasn't it, from Leo Cullen? He knows the importance of the next 50 seconds or so. One last throw of the dice. Are we set to see what we witnessed down at the sports ground in Galway when Connacht seemed absolutely certain to get the win against Leinster, and somehow Leo Cullen's side pulled it out of the fire with that late Kieran Frawley try. They went through 4 or 5 brilliant phases and opened up the Connacht defence. They'll have to go from 60-70 metres here and then some. It's a big ask. Ball in play is huge. Josh van der Fleer will await the player of the match from Donal Lenihan. May have to wait to see who comes out on the winning side. It's absolutely in the fire, in the melting pot, in the balance, right to the final whistle. Spilled by McCarthy and picked up by Stewart. He dives on it. He's knocked it forward.
Knock on.
Oh, Leinster, you never count them out, would you?
Never. It's a mark of champions. They can find a way. Odds massively against. 22 points to 21. Look at the clock. Half a dozen tries in what's been a brilliant contest from first whistle to last. And still we don't know where the points will go. It's pretty unsteady. Down go the front rows. Leinster reprieve of a penalty. One last roll of the dice.
Straight to floor.
Oh, this drama right to the end. 81 minutes. Ulster needed to not give away a penalty. That's 2 in a row now. And Leinster just eking their way out.
Harry Byrne, has he found touch?
I think it was out, was it?
There's the final whistle. Ulster have done it. There is no last chance for Leinster. The Ulster players celebrate an historic and rare win. Let's go quickly to Donal Lenihan for his BKT URC player of the match, please.
Yeah, look, it went right down to the edge. Obviously, again, Joe McCarthy, a big game for Leinster, but for me, Billy Burns was outstanding in that opening period. His kicking game instrumental in this historic victory for Ulster, so he is my URC player of the match.
Well, it's only a third win in 22 visits to the RDS, but it's 2 in the space of a couple of seasons for Ulster, and what belief that will give them going forward in the URC. Pulsating, enthralling, captivating contest settled by a point. Ulster win it by 22 points to 21.